morning. Well, good Monday morning, everyone. Empowered Soul Network land. It's going to be a wonderful week. Great weekend, lots of sunshine, lots of basketball for me. And we're excited about beginning the week with an amazing guest. I met her last week, and such a warm, loving, caring person is Jennifer Lee. Jennifer is a wellness intuitive yogi. I love that. I love that idea. And an energy alchemist. And we're going to find out all about that. I know she instructs yoga classes, has special techniques to help people. So, Jennifer, welcome to Empowered Soul
Thank
Network.
you. Thank you so much, Paul. I'm so grateful to be here. And you didn't tell me that you were into basketball.
Oh,
We'll
poof.
have to have some talks about that
Oh
later.
my God. What we can compare notes afterwards after this. We'll talk about all the things that are going on. And I'm so excited about the women this year. Oh my God. We'll talk more. We'll talk more. Compare notes. So, hey, Jennifer, you have such a beautiful journey that you've been through that's led you to really helping people with their bigger picture of their energy and so on. So, tell us about that journey. Where did you start out with your kind of awakening, and what was challenging you that has led you to your work today?
Yeah. Uh, so for me, it's always been about the body, right? Always been about the body. Um, as a child, I had this fascination when I would be in hospitals or just I was in dance, I was in ballet and tap and gymnastics and rhythmic gymnastics and twirling from the age of 3. And yeah, I was always overweight. And so, going through life and all of those challenges, right? I always talk about my car accident, but it started way prior to the car accident in 2000. Just not not knowing, like, why am I so active and yet so overweight and unable, all the things, right? Because then you get made fun of and do go through all of that. So then I've always been athletic, right? I've always been moving and running and doing workouts. And in 2000, I was in a car accident and I shattered my right ankle. I broke every single rib, front and back. And I was in excruciating pain after my third surgery. And while I was in the hospital recovering from that, um, in excruciating pain, I heard a voice come in and tell me to breathe. And, at first I was just a bit taken back, like, what? And so I heard it again, breathe. And so I took a really long, slow, deep breath. And as soon as I finished that exhale, the pain was completely gone. And from that space and going forward, right, I was taught to kind of send my breath to that pain or anywhere in my body, throughout the years. My my doctors were telling me, you'll never run again, you'll never dance again, you'll never do all the things. And I was like, you can't tell me what to do. You obviously don't know me. And so within a year of going from being in a wheelchair for probably about 6 months to a walker to um, crutches, I was running. They did a whole study on me at the hospital that I was in, and they were like, this is crazy that she's doing this. And, it's that catapulted me, catalyzed my journey down into yoga, into breath work, into not just being able to physically heal the body, but then years later, it worked into even manifesting things, right? Manifesting your dreams coming true because we learn to embody that. So, long story short, it's led me to the miracle of being fully embodied to create healing and blessings and all the things in our life. And it's possible, right? Knowing that it's possible and believing that it's possible. Um, Throughout my journey, I have seen miraculous things in my own life as well as others from the experiences that I've gone through. And so it is my passion and my mission to show others that it is possible, that
Well,
we can all have this.
that's just beautiful. And I think that's what people I find are searching for in some way. So they may not have that energy being overweight, for example, that you did, or may not have had a serious accident. What is it that's inside people that you've identified that almost impels them and requires them to make that change? There's something. How would you define that when people are here and they're
It's
anxious to, what is it?
it's that drive. It's your internal, like it's your soul. That's your calling, right? If you have a vision and you see it, it's because it's already there. We just have to, the way that I work with clients and students is we work to peel back those layers. And it's not me, it's source. And you being ready to receive that because your soul has this calling, right? We all have this calling, this drive, this desire, this hunger for something, whether it is a healing, whether it is extra abundance, whether it is a beautiful career doing the things that we love, right? There's a reason that that vision is there. And so again, but the body comes in because we have to be fully in our body, and because of all the traumas we've gone through even in these past 3-4 years, right? People want to leave the body because it doesn't feel so good to be here right now, right? But in order to manifest those things or have the health or have, whatever, you've got to be here now, which again is why I love teaching yoga, why I always start my class with a grounding meditation to be here fully, completely. Now I am here, I exist,
Well,
you
I get
know?
I get goosebumps while you're talking about that. So could you say in more words what it was that your vision and your drive was? Maybe it was just to walk again, but it almost feels like there was something deeper than that even. How would you describe the motivation that you had that may help people, maybe the signs for other people say, you know what, I have that too, or yes, yes, Jennifer,
Yeah.
tell me more. How would you describe that desire for you?
Oh my gosh. So oh gosh, it was probably a few years after my car accident. I was out for a walk and I went into this meditative state, and and I could see Yeshua, like Yeshua and Source and all my guides and angels. All of a sudden, my outside surroundings just transformed into this path, and it was like I was on this race runway, and Jesus, Yeshua said to me, "Why don't you run?" And I was like, I can't run. My ankle is hurting." And he's like, "Just try it." And so I started running, and and the feeling that I got, which was pure connection to source, to universe, to God, whatever you might call it, I felt my whole body just expand, just almost disappear, right? This huge feeling of expansion. And I was like, oh, I want to bring this to the world. If I could bottle this feeling of you, that pure pure connection to source, because it's there, right? Because we're in a human body, we don't always experience it because there's density, right? You can touch this, but it's there. And when we realize that was my turning point, to be honest. I was like, oh, this is good. This right here, this is, and I always use this word juicy, this is the juicy stuff right here. That is what made me like go deep down that rabbit hole. Like that is that drive, that is that desire. We are all that divine expansion. And when people can start to feel that, even if it's just a little teeny taste, And then you start to expand it and grow it. And you're like, oh my, that's why I'm here on this planet to experience that.
Beautiful. I mean, and you know what? It doesn't make any difference what your culture is, your religion, you're this, you're that. There's that feeling that everybody is aspiring to, even if it's just to have that feeling when I'm working with my kids, this, right?
Yes. Yeah. Or eating a meal that's just so good. If you can take the moment to savor every single morsel, that's what we're here to experience on this planet. That's why we're in physical bodies, is so that we can experience that. The divine experiences that through us,
Right.
because, we're the ones with the emotions, we're the ones with the taste buds. Source doesn't have that. It experiences through us. How
Beautiful.
blessed are we?
So, Jennifer, one of the things that I'm finding that people ask and that come up in other interviews that we do is it's one thing to have that when I am in front of on my yoga mat, I'm in downward dog and I'm experiencing that meditative, that openness, that freedom. How do people sustain that when they're back at the office and there's chaos going on and so on? What are some things that people can do to keep something as they get back, as you say, into the world that they need to navigate? What kids, relationships?
Yeah,
Any
all
tip,
the
any
things.
tips or secrets for how do you take the yoga mat into the boardroom?
Right. Well, first of all, it's about accepting the fact that we're emotional. We're humans. We're going to have those emotions. So giving yourself grace when you're having those days where you're just, I call them poop days. That's just, there we all have those days. So the first thing is to give yourself grace when you are feeling that. And then just taking a time out and taking some breaths, taking your hands to your heart and just breathing in and then letting it go. And doing that just a few times, if you are at your desk, if you're at your job or what have you, having something around you that reminds you of something that lights you up. Whenever I'm in my classes, I'll have people like be in a meditation and think of something that brings them so much joy and lights them up so much that it actually brings a smile to your entire being, and then utilize that. So remember that there, it might be a memory, it might be your grandbaby, it might be your child, it might be your puppy, whatever that is. For me, it's always the mountaintops in Durango, Colorado. I always remember being in the top of the mountain and I'm like, that's it. There, or just something that can, yeah, it's going to be okay. And even still, again, if you still go back to it, like, yeah, but you don't know, you don't know what I'm going through. I do. Trust me, we all get there. We all go through that. Trust me, I have my poop days. And they're just what they are. And I give myself grace. And in that moment, I say, I love you. I love you so much, Jennifer. I know you're having a really hard time, and I'm here for you. What do you need?
Yeah, I was going to
So
ask you to describe more of how you give yourself grace. So, that energy, I love you, Jennifer. What else could you say about that? How does a person give themselves grace?
I I talk to myself the way that I would a child, and it
Mm,
has taken me a very long time because I give others grace so easily. It just flows from me. And it's taken a very long time. I would say, oh, I'm 45 now, probably about 40 something years to get to this point. But I will speak to myself like, I know, baby girl. I am so sorry that you're going through that right now. And I am here for you. What do you need from me? I love you so much. I'm not going anywhere. I'm
mm.
right here. And that's the way that I speak to myself. And I do it out loud. So I might look crazy, but I guarantee you within a couple of minutes my entire being softens. And all that little boy or little girl within us, they just want to be seen. They just want to
Mm.
know that they're heard, that they're acknowledged. And typically after that, it's like, okay, we'll be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm not leaving you. I'm right here.
It's like there's a great feeling of just self-acceptance and
Yeah.
self-respect. You know, do you find that a lot of times people are so involved in what's not going right that they forget what is going right? When we look at the glass half empty rather than glass full, right? Could you speak to that a
Yeah.
little bit? How have you seen that in yourself and people?
Yeah. That's what our minds, our egos are trained to do, right? Is to look to something to fix. I've got to find something to fix. And when things are going right, it's like, oh no, what's about to happen? The shoe is about to drop. What's big something, and it, it's a practice, right? Just like yoga, everything, it's a practice. We don't just brush our teeth once and our teeth are clean for the rest of our lives. You do this consistently. And okay, it's why they talk about gratitude lists, right? Gratitude journals, and talking about what in my life is going right. Because I do it too. We're all guilty of it. Oh man, this happened and then this and this. Oh, but wait, let me pivot, redirect, right? Same thing with basketball. Sometimes you got to pivot and make that shot somewhere else. And that's what we do in life, right? Whenever those things, when it starts to get to be so overwhelming, I'm breathing. That's a positive. That means I'm alive. Well, that's good. Okay. I've got a roof over my head. Okay. I've got clothes that I can wear that keep me warm or keep me cool. It's little baby steps within that. I've got an amazing community. I've got beautiful friends in my life and beautiful family members. Start to build from there.
Wonderful, wonderful, great suggestions there. Tell us about what it's like to be an energy alchemist. What does that mean, and how is that practical for people?
I know, right? So I have always been told that my presence enters a room before I do. And I don't
True, it's
consider
true.
myself I don't consider myself very loud. And one of my best friends, he says when I go enter the gym here in Austin, when I go there, he's like, "You're so loud when you come in here." And I'm like, "What? I don't say anything." And he's like, "No, we hear you before you even come in." And so what I do, um, before my presence apparently even gets there, is I've had this gift of just clearing a room of any negative energy. And I'll still, like before my yoga practice, I'll still burn some Palo Santo. But even when I'm speaking with people, you'll still feel me, you'll, bleh. Energy is flowing right now. You'll see me moving my arms. And what's happening is the energy is transmuting. So as far as like alchemizing from any density that's in the space gets cleared out just from my presence. And then, and source running through me because I wake up starting my day with, I set my ego to the side so that I may be a clear and present channel for source. And so that energy is flowing through me on a constant basis, transmuting, alchemizing, and doing all the things in order to shift where the energy on the planet.
Beautiful. What do you think would be a key that, let's say someone's not taking yoga or they're not even in any particular classes, but they resonate with what you're talking about. What's a tip for them to be able to be their own best alchemist, energy alchemist?
Mm,
How can somebody go do that,
yeah,
tomorrow or
just
today?
right. So believe that it's possible. We all have our own medicine. We all have our own gifts in each individual unique way. It's what makes us special, right? We each do. And to believe that it's possible, just to focus more on the beauty, on the beauty of this world, on the beauty of this humanity. I believe that. I see that. I worked years to with the affirmation of I see the beauty in all things. I
Mm.
see the beauty in all things. And I've been like that my whole life, even with all the trauma I've experienced, the people I I love, I will always love, I always forgive. I see the beauty in all things, even the traumas.
It's kind of like, it's almost like maintaining the high ground, maintaining the big picture, right? Of
Right.
what's really happening. As you were talking, I was imagining, say, a school teacher. They have to go into a room with, 20 first graders,
Yeah.
and they're all wild and crazy, being able to, before you step into that room, imagine the goodness in the room, the light,
Yes.
those emerging dynamic souls that want to express themselves. And is that what you're saying? It's kind of like no matter what.
So I was telling you, I teach puppy yoga. I teach puppy and kitten yoga. You want to talk about chaos? That is some chaos. And every time I go in there, because people are laughing and they're having fun and it gets really loud and rowdy. And then I I always start the class and say, I already know I am not the star of the show. I know that. I know these babies are, but just be respectful and mindful of others. And so the presence that I cultivate from that, from already setting the stage, like I already know. I know we're all here to have fun. Please, that's why we are here. It allows me to see the beauty in all things, that they're just having fun. It's nothing personal against me. We're just having a great time with a bunch of puppies. Like, best life ever. What?
So, there's a little bit of that. What I hear you saying is a little bit of that thought of walking into that classroom, thinking about the positive solutions and adventure rather than that it's going to be some kind of problem. So
Yeah,
what's that mindset that I'm coming towards that with? Even if it is a challenge, okay, well,
right.
there's an opportunity for some solutions there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What's the
That's great.
solution?
Well, hey Jennifer, this has just been delightful. What a wonderful energy and enthusiasm. That was the other thing that I was going to say. I mean, you exude such enthusiasm for things, and that must be a healing energy too, right?
Yeah. It's part of the transmutation because I get I get really excited about things, and my entire life I have felt like I need to be quiet and I need to shrink down. And then I finally was like, you know what? I love me, all of me, and you're going to get it all. And it's loud. And I get excited. And it might not be loud in the volume sense, but it's like, "Wah!"
I have a friend who's a teacher, and she was substituting one day for somebody else, and she was talking about how the rules in the class are to everybody. Everybody needs to use their inside voice. Everybody needs to be quiet. And this little girl stands up. She goes, "Ms. K, when I become a teacher, I'm going to have everybody speak loud."
About that.
It's hard to hold that enthusiasm back, right, Jennifer?
I know.
That's
Whenever
beautiful.
when I'm teaching a class and I'm channeling, the my voice gets different and people can normally tell. It's like, woo, you were you were fully embodied at that point.
There you go. How can we get in touch with you, Jennifer?
Yeah, so people can reach me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Jennifer Lee. I'm also on Instagram, Awakening with Jen. I am starting up a YouTube channel. I am also looking to taking my classes online. Everything is a work in progress. Don't have a website yet. It's coming. And until then, if you would like to work with me, whether it's I offer personal sessions, we do healing and clearing. I'm working to take the yoga classes to Zoom online so that I can reach more people. Um, you can email me at awakeningjenniferlee@gmail.com. And
Great.
then
And
Awakening with Jen is my Instagram.
And when we get done streaming, please put that in the comments down underneath the video, and we'll put a nice title up there for people to be able to connect. So, wow, this is just awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of Empowered Soul Network.
Mm.
I feel empowered. I think there's some empowerment going out there. It's energizing everything. So thanks for a good start to the week. Stick around for just a
Thank
minute when we get done, and we'll chat some more. Have a good day,
definitely.
everybody in Empowered Soul
Thank
Network.
you
Look
all.
for more things coming this week. See you soon.